Ever wonder what kind of person looks at a small rectangle of cardboard and sees $7 million? Not a house, not a yacht, not even a particularly large stack of actual money, just a trading card with a cartoon mouse on it. You're scrolling through your feed one morning, and there it is. Logan Paul just dropped $5.2 million on a Pokémon card. Your coffee goes cold as you stare at the headline. The same instinct that makes you refresh your stock portfolio or check your crypto wallet is now screaming one question: why? Here's where it gets interesting. Imagine you're sitting on mountains of cash from boxing matches and energy drink deals, and someone tells you about the rarest Pokémon card in existence. Only 39 were ever made. How do you say no to being one of less than 40 people on Earth who could own this thing? The card itself is called the Pikachu Illustrator, and it was never sold in stores. Back in 1998, CoroCoro Comic Magazine in Japan held illustration contests, and winners received this card as a prize. It wasn't meant to make anyone rich, it was basically a really fancy participation trophy. But here's the beautiful irony. Giving something away for free can sometimes make it more valuable than anything you could sell. Those contest winners were just kids drawing their favorite Pokemon, not investment bankers plotting their retirement. Fast forward 25 years, and that childhood prize is worth more than most people's houses. So what transforms a piece of cardboard into a multi-million-dollar asset? Scarcity is the obvious answer, but it's not the whole story. Plenty of things are rare without being valuable. Your grandma's third-place bowling trophy from 1972, for instance. The real magic happens when scarcity meets nostalgia meets status. You're not just buying a card when you drop $5 million on Pikachu Illustrator. You're buying proof that you've made it, that you're part of an exclusive club, that you understand something the peasants scrolling past don't. Think about it like this. Billionaires collect classic cars they'll never drive, and art they'll never hang in their living rooms. The Pokémon card is just the millennial version of the same impulse. Except instead of a Monet, it's an electric mouse designed to sell Game Boy cartridges to 10-year-olds. Logan Paul understood something crucial when he made that purchase. In the attention economy, $5 million isn't just an investment in cardboard, it's an investment in headlines. Every news outlet covered the story, every finance bro had an opinion, every Pokémon fan had a meltdown. The publicity alone probably generated more value for his brand than a traditional advertising campaign ever could. You can't buy that kind of cultural moment with a billboard or a Super Bowl ad. But apparently you can buy it with a Pokémon card and a really good PR team. Now he's trying to flip it for $7 million, and here's where the psychology gets really fascinating. He's banking on finding someone who wants what he had. The status, the headlines, the ability to say they own something almost nobody else can. It's not about the card anymore, it's about the story you get to tell. Who buys something like this? Not someone who needs $7 million, that's for sure. You're looking at tech founders who sold their startups, crypto millionaires who got in early, maybe a museum looking to capitalize on nostalgia culture. People for whom $7 million is less than 1% of their net worth. There's also the investment angle, which sounds insane until you remember that alternative assets have outperformed traditional stocks in certain periods. Rare sneakers, vintage wine, comic books, Pokémon cards, they're all part of the same ecosystem where passion meets speculation. Some finance guys literally call it passion investing with a straight face. But let's be real about the condition here. This is a PSA 10. That's the highest grade a card can receive, meaning it's basically pristine. Most cards from 1998 are bent, scratched, or living in someone's mom's attic in a shoebox. Getting a PSA 10 on a card this old is like finding a mint-condition newspaper from the day the Titanic sank. Theoretically possible, practically miraculous. The grading company examines centering, corners, edges, and surface with microscopic precision. One tiny flaw, and you're knocked down to a 9, which could cost you millions. So the value isn't just in the card itself, but in its perfect preservation across decades. Someone kept this thing safe through moves, floods, fires, younger siblings, and every other threat to childhood memorabilia. That's either impressive foresight or incredible luck. Here's the uncomfortable truth though. This market only works as long as everyone agrees it works. Unlike gold or real estate, Pokémon cards have no intrinsic value beyond what collectors assign them. It's a shared hallucination, a collective agreement that this particular Pikachu is worth more than a beach house. And that's not necessarily a criticism. All value is somewhat arbitrary when you zoom out far enough. Currency itself is just fancy paper we all agreed means something. At least the Pokémon card has some legitimate scarcity and cultural significance backing it up. The psychology of the buyer comes down to a few core motivations: status signaling, genuine nostalgia, investment speculation, or some intoxicating combination of all three. You're not just buying into Pokémon, you're buying into a narrative about yourself as someone who can make bold, unconventional investments. There's also FOMO baked into this entire ecosystem. What if you pass on the Pikachu Illustrator and in 5 years it's worth 20 million? What if this becomes the baseline price and you missed your chance to own a piece of trading card history? The fear of being on the wrong side of a cultural moment is powerful. Meanwhile, critics call it a bubble waiting to pop, comparing it to Beanie Babies or Tulip Mania. They're not entirely wrong to be skeptical. Markets driven by hype and speculation have a nasty habit of correcting themselves when reality sets in. But Pokémon has shown remarkable staying power compared to other fads. The franchise keeps churning out games, shows, and merchandise decades later. New generations discover it while old fans refuse to let go. That sustained relevance provides some foundation beneath the speculation. Logan Paul sitting on this card for a few years and expecting a 40% return isn't crazy in that context. Compared to some crypto investments or tech stocks, it's almost conservative. At least you can hold the thing in your hand and show it off at parties. The real question is whether the next buyer sees it the same way, whether they're willing to bet 7 million that someone after them will pay even more. It's a game of financial hot potato played with childhood nostalgia and flex culture. And honestly, someone will probably buy it. Because in a world where people spend millions on NFTs of cartoon apes, a tangible piece of Pokémon history almost seems reasonable. At least it's something you can actually own without worrying about your digital wallet getting hacked. The Pikachu Illustrator represents the strange intersection of everything that makes modern collecting bizarre and fascinating. It's part nostalgia, part investment, part status symbol, all wrapped up in a piece of cardboard that was never supposed to be worth more than bragging rights at a schoolyard. But here we are, watching millionaires treat it like fine art, while the rest of us wonder if we threw away a fortune when we tossed our old binders. That's the game behind the $7 million mouse. Whether it's genius or madness depends entirely on whether someone's willing to pay $8 million next time.